There comes a moment in every soul's journey when they must decide whether they will dim their inner light to please the world, or protect it. No matter the cost, this light within you, the self, as I have often called it, is not born from ego, or the approval of others. It is born from individuation, a sacred process where you become who you truly are, not who the world tells you to be. And once this light becomes invincible, once it burns regardless of rejection, failure, or loneliness, you begin to attract only those who see it, honor it, and are inspired by it. Let me speak to you from that place of truth. Too many spend their lives chasing light in the external world. They search for admiration, recognition, titles, wealth, or beauty, believing that if they shine in the eyes of others, they will finally feel illuminated from within. But this is the grand illusion. The more we rely on outer validation to feel whole, the more we become exiled from our true nature. We become actors on a stage, performing roles that please the audience but betray the soul. The light you seek is not out there. It has always been within you. It is not the applause that ignites it, but the awareness of who you truly are beneath the persona, the mask you wear to navigate society. That light is your essence, your soul's fingerprint, your inborn potential waiting to be remembered, not manufactured. It is not given to you by the world. It is uncovered when you dare to look inward, beneath the noise, into the silence of your own depths. This is the paradox. The more you abandon yourself to become what others want, the dimmer your inner flame becomes. But the moment you reclaim your authenticity, even if it makes you misunderstood, even if it costs you comfort, that is when the light begins to return. Not a flicker, but a steady fire. Not a spotlight for performance, but a hearth for truth. This inner light is not loud. It doesn't need to convince or control. It simply is. It radiates without effort, because it is aligned with truth. It is not rooted in ego but in soul, and once you allow it to shine, not for show, but as an act of remembrance, you begin to attract only those who can recognize it. You stop entertaining those who are blind to your worth, and start walking with those who have done their own inner work, and can honor your light without trying to dim it. The greatest journey is not toward the stars, but inward, toward the sacred fire you carry in your chest. 10. Protect it. Learn from it. And above all, stop looking for it in others. The invincible light was never meant to be found outside of you. It was always yours. We are too easily deceived into believing that light is the absence of darkness, that to shine means to escape suffering, pain, or despair. But the soul does not awaken in comfort. It is in the crucible of darkness that the most unshakable light is born. Your light, if it is to be invincible, must first be tested by shadow. Not the shallow shadow cast by fleeting fears or minor setbacks, but the deep, consuming darkness of existential pain, confusion, and inner fragmentation. The places where your identity unravels, where meaning seems lost, where you question who you are and whether you are even worthy of being. These are not detours from your path. They are the path. It is in these moments that the superficial layers of the personality are stripped away. The ego, with all its pride and illusions, is brought to its knees. And in that humbled, sacred silence, something more enduring begins to stir. A deeper awareness emerges, not of who you were taught to be, but of who you truly are. You do not escape darkness by pretending it doesn't exist. You transcend it by entering it consciously, by confronting the wounded child, the abandoned self, the repressed emotion. Jung called this shadow work, the courageous act of facing all that you have denied within yourself. And through that inner confrontation, you recover power. You gather fragments of your lost self. You ignite a flame that no longer depends on external circumstances. An invincible light is not the brightness of naive optimism. It is the glow of someone who has suffered consciously, who has touched despair and did not flee from it, who has stood in the middle of the night of the soul and found not destruction, but transformation. And now, that person walks with a light does not flicker in the face of judgment, isolation, or failure, because it was not built in approval, but in truth. Understand this: what has never been tested cannot be trusted. Your joy, your confidence, your peace, they must be refined in fire. Only then do they become unshakable. And when that happens, you do not need to prove your light to the world. You simply are it. The light that survives darkness is not just a guide. It becomes a beacon, a signal to others that hope is possible, that rebirth is real, that no matter how lost you feel, something luminous can still rise from the ashes. So do not curse the darkness. It is not your enemy. It is your initiation. Many people live in quiet desperation, not because they are unseen, but because they are only seen when they wear a mask. From early childhood, we are conditioned to perform, to gain approval, avoid rejection, and meet expectations not our own. We learn to shape-shift, to smile when we're breaking, to agree when we long to rebel, and to shrink so others may feel large. This is the disease of pleasing, where the desire to be liked becomes stronger than the desire to be real. But the soul cannot thrive in a life of performance. Each time you silence your truth to gain favor, a piece of your authenticity fractures. And while others may applaud the image you present, deep down, you know the price of that applause is your inner peace. You cannot attract true connection while abandoning yourself to maintain false ones. Herein lies a truth the ego resists, but the soul knows well. The moment you stop seeking to please everyone, you begin to align with who you were always meant to be. And when you are aligned, you no longer chase love. You magnetize it. When you speak your truth, even if your voice trembles, when you set boundaries, even if they're misunderstood, when you choose solitude over superficiality, that is when your energy becomes clean, potent, and attractive. Because people may not consciously know why they are drawn to you, but they will feel your wholeness. There is a rare and irresistible power in someone who is no longer afraid to be fully themselves. They are no longer needy, no longer performing, no longer contorting their soul to fit into molds built by fear. Their presence becomes an act of liberation for others. And something else happens when you stop pleasing. Those who only love the version of you that served them will begin to fall away. Let them. Their departure is not loss. It is alignment. The space they leave will be filled by those who see your truth and honor it, not just your utility. To stop pleasing is not to become harsh, arrogant, or isolated. It is to become whole. It is to love others without betraying yourself. It is to recognize that harmony cannot exist without authenticity. And from this inner harmony, you will draw people into your life not through manipulation, but through resonance. So if you feel alone on your journey, take heart. The ones meant for you are not the ones who were attracted to your mask. They are the ones who will be drawn to your essence. And your essence is only revealed when you stop pretending and begin becoming. Stop pleasing, start living, and let your true light call in those who are ready to meet you in your fullness. One of the most persistent illusions we carry is the belief being loved means being approved of, that to be accepted, we must fit in, comply, and avoid discomfort. We try to mold ourselves to match the expectations of others, hoping that if we earn enough approval, it will evolve into something deeper. Into love, belonging, connection. But approval is not the same as alignment, and it never will be. Approval is conditional. It depends on performance, appearance, convenience. It is given to the version of you that others want to see, not the version that truly exists. You receive approval by playing the role, by staying in the lines, by never threatening the comfort of those around you with the rawness of your truth. But alignment is something entirely different. Alignment is when two souls resonate not because they agree on everything, but because they see each other as they are. There is no pretending in alignment. No need to shrink, filter, or earn worth. There is only a deep recognition I know you, not because you please me, but because you are real. This is why true connection can never come through approval. Approval demands a mask. Alignment demands the mask be removed. To find real connection, you must risk disapproval. You must be willing to be misunderstood, to be judged, even to be abandoned by those who only love the version of you that never challenged them. You must let go of the relationships built on comfort, and open yourself to those that thrive on truth. The aligned ones will not always come easily. They will arrive only when you have made peace with yourself. When you have stopped needing to be liked and started needing to be whole. For it is only in your wholeness that you can meet someone else in theirs. You see, resonance is subtle. It doesn't announce itself with loud gestures or surface-level compatibility. It moves quietly, deeply, like two instruments suddenly playing in tune after years of disharmony. When this happens, you feel it not in your mind, but in your nervous system. Peaceful, grounded, known. And something even more powerful happens when you stop seeking approval. Your very energy begins to filter your relationships for you. Those who are aligned will feel naturally drawn to you, without force or persuasion. And those who are not will slowly fall away, not in anger but in disinterest. You won't have to push anyone out. Your authenticity will do the work. So stop chasing approval. Stop asking, "Do they like me?" and start asking, "Am I in alignment with my truth?" Because connection born from truth is the only kind that lasts. All else is performance, and performance is exhausting. Let your life be a signal, not for everyone, but for those who are meant to find you. Not for those who approve of your light, but for those who align with it. That is where real connection begins. Not in pleasing, but in being. The light within you is not ordinary. It is not casual. It is not disposable. It is sacred. And because it is sacred, it must be protected, not from fear or paranoia, but from wisdom. Just as you would guard a candle in the wind, so must you guard the light of your soul in a world that often seeks to extinguish what it cannot understand. You see, your light is not just your joy or your positivity. It is the very expression of your inner wholeness. It is your essence, your intuition, your imagination, your capacity for love, truth, and meaning. It is everything in you that is alive, awake, and true. And that is why it draws both reverence and resistance from the world around you. Not everyone who enters your life comes with the eyes to see your light, nor with the heart to honor it. Some, consciously or unconsciously, are drawn to it only to take from it, to feed on your energy, your sensitivity, your strength. Others are threatened by it, because it reflects what they have abandoned in themselves. And still others try to control it, contain it, reshape it into something more familiar, more manageable, more palatable. This is why discernment is not a luxury, it is a necessity. You must learn who can sit near your flame without putting it out. Who can be warmed by your presence without trying to possess it. Who can witness your becoming without making it about their comfort? Because if you offer your light to those who are not ready, they will treat it carelessly. And each time your light is mishandled, a part of you dims. Not because it is broken, but because you forgot it deserved to be sacred. Protecting your light does not mean you become closed, bitter, or suspicious. It means you become intentional. You no longer give your energy freely to everything and everyone. You begin to choose where you pour your time, your heart, your truth. Not out of arrogance, but out of love, for yourself, and for the light that you have worked so hard to build. Think of a temple. Would you let just anyone walk in, carelessly touch its altars, speak over its silence, leave behind their noise? No, the temple is sacred because it is treated as sacred. So must your soul be, so must your light be. And remember, protecting your light is not isolation. It is preparation. Because the more you guard and tend to your inner flame, the stronger it becomes. And when it is strong, it becomes a beacon, not just for your own path, but for others who are lost in darkness, searching for someone, anyone, who reminds them that light still exists. But before you can be that beacon for others, you must be its keeper within yourself. So protect your light, from distractions, from people who drain you, from environments that suffocate your spirit, from beliefs that tell you to play small or stay silent. Protect it as if your life depends on it. Because in truth, the quality of your life does. And when you do, something miraculous happens. You no longer burn out, you burn steady. You no longer seek light in others, you become it. And only those who honor the flame will be allowed to sit beside it. That is sacred living. That is conscious strength. That is individuation. So I say this to you, dear soul, let your light rise. Let it offend. Let it inspire. Let it cleanse the room just by entering it. When your light is invincible, you no longer fear the darkness. You become the lighthouse for others, and you will never again walk alone, because only those who honor your flame will find you. Let your journey begin now. Shine, not to be seen, but because you have finally seen yourself.